I'm standing here in front of the beautiful opera in Bratislava, or Pressburg as it was called in the Austrian-Hungarian times. It's quite interesting here, I would say. The city is really beautiful, so I think in terms of architecture it's definitely worth a visit to come here. The people are kind of nice. You feel the sort of reservedness that you have in, I would say, a lot of Eastern Europe, you know, where people are maybe not as pleasant all the time and outgoing as you might expect it if you're from the US or from Western Europe, which doesn't really mean a thing. It's not like people are not friendly, it's just a local culture. So don't be stopped by that. It is easy enough to get by with English, since all the young people do speak English sufficiently well, some of them amazingly well. I was actually impressed, so that's certainly not an issue. I was quite impressed that there are a few startups that are well known, like none of the super big unicorn names of course, but quite a few like medium-sized ones like Slido, for example. So there is something going on in the tech startup scene here in Bratislava. And also what I noticed is that a lot of big companies, you know, the big corporations, they have substantial offices here. Probably because of the low cost of living and because in recent times there's been a lot of development in terms of industry in general. Whereas Czech Republic used to be the big player here, it shifted a bit to Slovakia, since Slovakia has the euro, whereas Czech Republic doesn't have it yet. So it definitely seems to be a really buzzing business hub here. A completely different topic is taxation. So of course our research is taxation interesting here for freelancers and digital nomads? Is it interesting to have your home base in Slovakia? And the short answer is, from a cost of living perspective, maybe yes. From a taxation perspective, no. Taxes are more on the moderate to high end. So for example, you pay about 25% in corporate taxes on your corporation if you have one, and also the personal taxes are not incredibly attractive if you compare it with some other countries. So for example, in terms of corporation tax, the neighboring Hungary is much lower at about 9%. And of course, in terms of personal income tax, there's many other options if you are a nomad, like Georgia, for example, where you can pay much less tax than here in Slovakia. But from a cost of living perspective, it could be something, especially if you want to spend more time of the year here in this really, really beautiful city. So this behind me is the famous river, the Danube. One of the cool things you can do on a river is taking a boat, like those people behind me do. But actually, what I would recommend is taking a much, much bigger boat and, you know, not just cruising around the river a bit, but instead going up and down the Danube. So for example, you can go from Vienna to Bratislava, or also vice versa, be it for a day trip, or also just to, you know, get from one travel stop to the next one. I think it's a lot of fun. I've actually done that before, from Vienna to Bratislava and back. So it takes about, I think, an hour or so. It was quite a lot of fun. Definitely can recommend it. And if you do have more time, then consider doing that on a longer route and maybe even across countries. So at least in theory, for example, you could take a boat all the way from Regensburg down to Vienna or Bratislava. They don't offer that very often because I think it's a bit of a niche thing, but sometimes in summer you might be lucky and find such a tour. And I think it's a lot of fun to discover the beautiful cities along the Danube in this particular way. So, hello Lisa.
Hello.
Thanks for coming out.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Doing this short conversation with us.
Yes.
So, you already told me that you just moved this year to Bratislava.
Yes.
So, kind of a new expat, more or less.
Yes, exactly.
Here in Bratislava, or Pressburg, as it used to be called in the Austrian times. Tell us more about it. How was it to come here?
Considering the fact that I came here from Ukraine, I haven't expected this happen this year specifically, and I have never considered Slovakia as a country where I will move in my life, and I have no idea how it's going to be here. But I've been living here for 7 months probably as of now, and it feels really cool because it's a bit different from the city where I lived before in Kiev. Kiev, a little like kind of bigger city, and Bratislava has less population, but I would say that Bratislava I even like more than Kiev because it's a bit calm and chill and relaxed city, and it has everything that you need, like for your I would say basic lifestyle, like offices, shopping centers, and old city. So you have pretty everything.
Is it easy to get started here if you speak English but not the local language?
So I don't know if I'm the best person to ask this question because I'm not really communicate a lot with people here.
Right.
And I believe if you're just regular person visiting the city, if you know English, that should be enough for you because a lot of people know English and there is no problem to communicate in English.
And then kind of going back to the location topic, what would you say for tech people are the good reasons to move to Slovakia?
Yes, good reasons are, first of all, it's the cost of living is really comfortable here, and this is like a really good reason to come here if you wanna and allow yourself good lifestyle, I would say. And other reason is that the city itself is very comfortable because it's like really relaxed and calm. And if you do not like big cities, or you would you want to try something different from big cities and you want to try living in like a bit smaller, this is the great city to live here because it's really chill and nice if you want to try something different.
Are there any downsides of relocating to Slovakia that you've noticed so far?
Maybe not downsides, but the things that may not fit everyone, because if you expect here to have like really dynamic lifestyle and have, I don't know, if you used to be in big city and live in big city, maybe it feels really different, and maybe it's not like downside, but maybe it will be not a fit for everyone because it's different. The city is smaller, but as I said, on the other hand, this city has pretty everything that you need for for living here. Yes.
Cool. That sounds very nice.
Yes.
So Lisa, thank you very much for talking to us today. It was definitely a pleasure, and yeah, I wish you all the best with your company REVR.
Yes, thank you so much. I really enjoy it, and thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, and see you in the next video.